Friday the 21st of May at 3 p.m. Good luck!
Yeah, best of luck with that. Now, with the good weather hopefully on the way soon, sun cream will be a must. But did you know that your pet felines are susceptible to the sun's rays too?
No.
Did you know that?
Cat Protection Charity, it's a great charity that as well, released a shocking new warning in just a moment. Dr. Scott's here with everything you need to know. First, let's talk to Jo Griffiths, who knows the dangerous sunburn to cats all too well after she adopted Fluff, who sadly had to have his ears removed. Jo, firstly, well done for adopting Fluff. Great job. So tell us about Fluff's story, the poor thing.
So we adopted Fluff on the 17th of March, and we adopted him from Cats Protection in Bridgend. And he came to us after having his ears removed through, the tops of his ears removed through sunburn.
Yeah.
Well, it's done nothing for his appetite. His appetite is good, isn't it, Jo?
I'm trying my best to keep him here with chicken.
Yeah, well done.
Had you ever heard that cats could get sunburnt before, Jo?
No, it was unknown to me. Cats could suffer with sunburn. It wasn't something that I'd heard of until we actually adopted Fluff. Obviously learned a lot more since having him, and we've researched and we've got things in place now to protect him going forward. We were advised that it would be unlikely that it would happen again, but obviously we don't want to take that chance.
And what about the fact that his lack of ears, does that affect him at all?
No, not at all. Not in any sort of sensory way. They are quite sensitive when you stroke him, so you have got to be careful. His ears sort of flicker when you touch them sometimes, so there's a sensitivity there. But other than that, it doesn't affect him at all.
All right, Jo. Listen, thanks for joining us, Jo.
Thank you for joining us, Jo. Thank you.
Thank you.
Keep doing the good work and keep feeding that chicken, and he's living his best life. That's the important thing. Yeah. So, Scott, this is news to me. I literally didn't know this until yesterday.
Because you're a very proud cat owner.
Exactly.
I've got 2 cats.
Yeah. Do they ever sort of languish in the sunshine?
Of course. I mean, all cats love sun, don't they?
I thought the fur was the protection.
Yeah.
Well, not to all cats. So particularly this occurs to middle-aged, older cats that are either white or lighter coloured. And actually, when I was a kid in Australia, obviously we have a lot of issues with sunburn. And it's not just sunburn that's affected Fluff, but it's actually a skin cancer that's developed. Yeah, and I had 2 cats that had both of their ears amputated as a result of squamous cell carcinoma, which is the most common skin cancer in cats. So it's something that we see, in, as I said, in the light pigmented animals. And normally it's, so the pinna, the tips of their ears, it can be on their eyelids, it can be on the planum, so basically the bridge of the nose, and it can also be in their mouth and their lips as well.
Really?
And yeah, absolutely. And so you look for changes in the skin as we would with ourselves, and that if there's maybe circles of scabbiness, maybe it's a slightly raised area, maybe it might bleed a little bit. Sometimes they're actually quite itchy. And sometimes they have this sort of very distinctive, almost like a cauliflower appearance to the skin. And
like a kind of rugby player thing.
Well, no, that's a cauliflower ear.
Yeah.
So that's fluid within the ear. That's next week. This week, with these particular skin tumours, they are something that when you see them, you do really want to flag them up to your vet, because that UV light gets into the sunburn, and over time it can lead to these tumours. And usually they are just local to that area, and that's why, unfortunately, the surgical treatment is actually removing the ears, like poor Fluff.
Such a shame.
But rarely do they actually spread. But in the worst case scenario, some animals actually get them in their mouths, and then we have to treat those a bit differently.
Does that affect the hearing at all when they take the, or do the ears still work pretty well?
Pretty well, yeah. It has no impact on the hearing, which is obviously within the inner ear, but that's sort of almost like the catching of the sound, but it would have no impact. And Fluff's days of hunting for food are over, so yeah, just getting it from Jo there. So yeah, all good.
So what can cat owners actually do for their cats to prevent this from happening?
Yeah, so prevention is just as you would expect with the sunscreen. Yeah, so you have to be careful with what you're applying to cats and dogs, because they have different sensitivities to toxicity. So something that's hypoallergenic and something specifically designed for cats. But there's sprays. I had a rescue English Bull Terrier in Australia. He had a bald nose, so we used to put like pink zinc on him and wear sunglasses. He did look awesome. I got to be honest, he did look awesome. But, you know, yeah, a bit of sunscreen on the nose, on the ears, and sometimes around the eyes as well. But it's really about vigilance, about making sure if you do see these things, you do flag them to your vet. And as I said, we treat them surgically, but sometimes we treat them with cryotherapy, which is basically freezing them. We can use radiotherapy as well. So,
and what are these products here, then?
So, yeah, so this is a sunscreen so that you can actually use, so spray it onto them. Obviously, if you're spraying it onto your cat's face, you probably want to put it on your hand and then wipe it on.
Yeah.
And then there's things like aloe vera as well. So sunburn doesn't necessarily lead to skin cancers, but obviously if we are going to use something like this, you're just soothing the skin and making them more comfortable. But it doesn't say stop them from going to the sun.
Scott, you and I both know that cats do what they want to do when they want to do it.
Absolutely, yes.
So, like, it's a lot easier to do this stuff to a dog than it would be to a cat, right?
Yeah. I like you a lot, so I'm not going to give it to you. There you go. Well, I'll do it. It's fine.
Exactly. So that's going to be tricky for a lot of people with cats.
Yeah, I mean, cats, as you say, they aren't the most compliant patient, and that's why, you know, I always say with my hands, a vet, it will never be a hand model. Being our patients don't tend to appreciate this kind of treatment. But, you know, people have said, oh, look, you know, should you try and avoid your cat from actually sunbathing? I think not. It's a joyous part of life. But if you have a light-coloured cat, or, you know, a cat that has very light skin, then just try and protect them as much as you can. And when it's sunny, using something like this.
Darker cats wouldn't need this?
Not generally, no. They don't tend to have the same issues, and their skin's a bit more resilient just because of the added pigment, the melanin present.
Yeah.
I think you've opened
And do you
my
think,
eyes.
really quickly, do you think has it got worse in the last couple of years? Like, as the weather's getting warm, it feels like the summer's getting warmer. Is this going to be more common?
It's more about UV light, really, and about UV radiation.
Right,
but actually, yeah, heat's probably not so much the issue, but hopefully more sunshine for us would be great.
Brilliant.
Well, thank you so much,
Thank you, Scott, as always.
Well, thank you. Well, listen, still to come. She spent her career with murderers. We meet the woman who became known